How's everybody doing today? This is Captncombat, and today we're going to talk about what's the right choice. Which TV should you buy for the next generation of gaming, part 1. Now, I have been thinking about this for about a year now, and I got it down to 3 different manufacturers. I have it down to TCL, Samsung, and LG. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just spend a little bit of time breaking down my personal thoughts on this. And again, remember to like, subscribe, and also hit that bell if you want to go ahead and see part 2 of this, because I'm going to have more videos like this in the future. Let's just get into it. In order to think about where we're going to go next, you got to know everything that's coming. I can't wait to see the next generation of gaming. I just want to go ahead and know which TV should I go ahead and get to optimize my gaming for either the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X. And it's actually me just really thinking out loud about what TV I'm going to end up buying. So when you think about what to buy, you got to actually break down what's going to be available. So let's go ahead and talk about the Xbox Series X. That's 4K gaming, 60 to 120 frames per second, ray tracing, 8K output, HDR tech, and it's a 12 teraflop machine. I heard a rumor that Halo was going to be 4K, 120 frames per second. Don't know if that's true, but I can't wait to find out. So now we move on to the PlayStation 5. Again, 4K, 60 to 120 frames per second, ray tracing, 8K output, HDR tech, and it is 10.2 teraflops. Well, 10.28. Let's not cheat them anywhere. I'm really looking forward to seeing how developers take advantage of Sony's SSD drive and to see if that actually is a game changer between the 2 consoles. I hope it doesn't overheat because the design reminds me of the Xbox 360, and I had 2 of them. Both of them hit the red ring of death. So, but again, with Ratchet and Clank, this was a 30 frames per second 4K demo with ray tracing. Maybe that is a feat because they're at 4K 30 with ray tracing and not like 1440p. I don't know. We'll just have to go ahead and wait until the game actually comes out and see what the final product is. Alright, so the first TV on my list is a TCL Series 6 QLED, the 2019 model, where they put the micro LEDs inside. It's 4K, it's a HDR10, Dolby Vision, 60 frames per second because it's a 60 Hertz TV, low input lag, 13.3 milliseconds at 4K HDR, so I think that's also awesome. Next, we're going to go ahead and get into our Samsung TV. That Samsung TV is still also 4K, but the difference here is that it's 120 Hertz, which is going to allow for 120 frames per second, which the Xbox and PlayStation both claim to have. It has low input lag at 14.7 milliseconds at 4K 10-bit HDR. Again, it's an incredible TV. This is a great option for that Samsung right there. Now, of course, we're going to go ahead and get into the cream of the crop. This is the LG C9 OLED 2019 model. You have 4K resolution, Dolby Vision, up to 120 frames per second because it runs at 120 Hertz. You have low input lag at 13.4 milliseconds. And if you run it at 120 Hertz, you get 6.6 milliseconds of input lag. That is phenomenal. This OLED TV is truly amazing. I have been looking at this TV since it was $3,500. Only thing you really got to worry about is image retention. And people who use the TV, I don't have one, but people who use it say that image retention is almost gone, but that's about it. I've also gone to different websites. One site that I will continue to go to is Ratingscom, RTINGS.com. Now, they will go ahead and take each model and break them down into the good, the bad, the ugly. If you have not been there, I highly recommend you going ahead and checking it out. Don't take my word for it. Go look yourself. You're going to go ahead and see stuff like their input lag. You're going to see what their HDR gaming score is, what their HDR movie score is. These things will be broken down for you. But wait, we're not done, because this is only buying the TV. We still haven't purchased our console. So let's forget about all of the the price hype over what the consoles could be, and let's just give them a flat number. We're gonna go ahead and bring them both in at $499. So if you went ahead and bought your TCL TV off of Amazon for $579 plus your $499 for your either Xbox or PlayStation, you're gonna come in at about $1,078 before tax. If you do the exact same thing with the Samsung, you're coming in at $2,030. And if you buy that OLED TV, it's $2,196. This is, again, it's almost $1,000 difference for that small gap. This is what I'm thinking about. This is what's in my head. Do I want to go ahead and pay another $1,000 for that small gap? I got a TCL TV right now. I'm running on the 2018 Series 6, and I did not get the 2019 with the upgraded micro LED. TCL has another 2020 model coming out. I'm standing by. I'm waiting to see if it's going to be competitive, if it's going to be 120 frames. I have to be fair. Those other two TVs are 120 frames per second. The TCL TV, the one that we're talking about, is only 60 frames per second. But now, again, let's talk about that. How many games are going to come out at launch at 120 frames per second? And how many games at launch will be 4K, ultra settings, 120 frames per second, HDR ray tracing? I'm not sure I'm going to see each one of those boxes checked. So if I bought the TCL TV and saved $952, can I live with just not having 120 frames per second right now while I'm paying a premium for it? And maybe in a year or 2 years, I can go ahead and upgrade my TV. That's just a thought. Because again, at the Sony event, they had a handful of games that were running at 60 frames per second. And until we see what Microsoft does July 23rd, we don't know how many games are actually going to be running in 120 frames per second. And my guess is going to be the multiplayer. Fingers crossed that maybe Halo or a couple games, they go ahead and they just start showcasing every game that they have running at 120 frames per second. That's going to be incredible. But I think 60 is their bar. 60 is the standard. And if they can get 4K 60 ultra settings, they're going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. And I can go ahead and save myself $952 not buying. So right now, for me, TCL has the edge. This is their fight to lose. But a $900 difference is just too much for me. That's it for me. Again, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can see part 2. This is one of many videos to come. I really do appreciate you taking the time to listen. That's it. All right, Combat out.